Hey family, today we're going to discuss 5 roadblocks to effective decision making and how to successfully navigate each. Sometimes you can avoid roadblocks and sometimes you can't. Overall, I believe that life isn't about avoiding challenges and problematic issues. I used to judge my day as good or bad based on whether problems arose or unexpected issues came about. But in recent years, I began to realize despite my best efforts to avoid unexpected challenges, they still happened. Nevertheless, if I navigate obstacles prudently, I can arrive at a place called better than before. And you can too. If you are interested in being able to identify roadblocks that are impeding your decision-making abilities and gain knowledge to successfully navigate unexpected problems as they arise, then stay tuned to this week's Danielle Inspires. Before we dive into today's juicy content, be sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and smash that alert button so you are aware of new content as soon as it is released. I'm bringing you fresh topics week after week, and today is no exception. Your engagement with me on this channel means a lot to me, so thank you. On to today's topic. I remember when I was engaged to be married, our pastor told my fiance and me to discuss how we would begin to make decisions together as a couple. He made it clear that many marriages break apart in the decision-making process. And since we didn't want that to happen to us, my fiance and I immediately took our pastor's message to heart by reading a few books and making some key decisions about our finances up front. One of the decisions we made was for me to be the financial manager of our household, a role I played while we were together for 14 years. And that was one of the best agreements we ever achieved as a couple. I believe within all of us is the ability to make good decisions, but people stumble over 5 significant roadblocks. Let me give you a list of those roadblocks in no particular order. Number 1, underdeveloped decision-making muscle. Number 2, no decision-making system in place. Number 3, disconnectedness from self. Number 4, analysis paralysis. Number 5, straddling the fence. We won't be able to cover all 5 roadblocks to effective decision making today, but part 2 of this topic will continue next week. One of the 5 roadblocks to effective decision making is having an underdeveloped decision making muscle. As children of a wise God, the decision-making muscle is present in all of us, and we could improve our daily lives by exercising that muscle, building it up to be stronger and more effective as we get older. You might think you are exercising your decision-making power because you make decisions every day. It is true that we use muscles every day. Just walking around your house, going through your daily routine of grooming, commuting to work, and cleaning your home won't build your muscle mass though. Movement alone doesn't build muscles. Strength training and proper diet builds muscles. Similarly, you can make decisions without strengthening your decision-making muscle. People have many abilities they've never tapped into or they underutilize, and the decision-making muscle is just one of many. Moreover, humans don't improve with time unless they use their time wisely. Deliberately exercising your decision-making ability to gain more wisdom is an excellent use of your time and mind. Our families and communities could really benefit from members who are pillars of strength and wisdom. Since wisdom comes with effort and not age, in our midst are adults and seniors who don't meaningfully contribute to elevating their families and communities to higher standards of living. They don't possess wisdom because they didn't spend their time on earth seeking it out. In the same way that wealth eludes 90% or more of the world's population, wisdom eludes many, many more. Yet, according to the Bible, God has given all of us the power to get wealth. We have everything we need to improve our livelihood, but most people aren't tapping into those abilities. They are living in debt or in poverty and beneath their true potential. Today and going forward, I don't want that to be us. You and I are meant to live in that zone of exceptional by developing our decision-making muscle. We're going to start by making a decision right now between wealth and wisdom. I have in one hand wealth and in the other hand wisdom. Which do you choose? Your heart might want one thing and your mind might crave another. Or your heart and mind might be in agreement about what that one thing should be. Which is it? Wealth or wisdom? Take a few seconds and exercise your decision-making muscle. Let's see if you made the right choice. Go with me to the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, starting in verse 13. It reads, "Blessed are those who find wisdom, those who gain understanding, for she is more profitable than silver and yields better returns than gold. She is more precious than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare with her. Long life is in her right hand, and in her left are riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant ways, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who take hold of her. Those who hold her fast will be blessed. The wisest thing you can do, and whatever else you do, develop good judgment." Now go with me to Proverbs 21:20, which says, "There is desirable treasure and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man squanders it." The book of Proverbs was written by King Solomon, who was one of the wealthiest people in his lifetime. King Solomon didn't seek after riches. Instead, he sought after godly wisdom. He craved understanding, but not for himself. As the leader of Israel, he wanted to deal with God's people fairly and see them prosper and live in peace. One day, God visited Solomon in a dream and said, "Ask for whatever you want me to give you." How would you have responded to God? What is at the top of your prayer list? Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 3, verses 6 through 14 to see what Solomon asked for and to learn how God responded. Solomon answered, "You have shown great kindness to your servant, my father David, because he was faithful to you and righteous and upright in heart. You have continued this great kindness to me and have given him a son to sit on his throne this very day. Now, Lord my God, you have made your servant king in place of my father David. But I am only a little child, and I do not know how to carry out my duties. Your servant is here among the people you have chosen, a great people, too numerous to count or number. So give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong. For who is able to govern this great people of yours?" The Lord was pleased that Solomon had asked for this. So God said to him, "Since you have asked for this and not for long life or wealth for yourself, nor have you asked for the death of your enemies, but for discernment in administering justice, I will do what you have asked. I will give you a wise and discerning heart, so that there will never have been anyone like you, nor will there ever be. Moreover, I will give you what you have not asked for, both wealth and honor, so that in your lifetime you will have no equal among kings. And if you walk in obedience to me and keep my decrees and commands as David your father did, I will give you long life." By asking for wisdom, Solomon pleased God. Solomon could have asked for long life, but what good is long life of misery? He could have asked for wealth, but what good is wealth without wisdom? He could have asked for the death of his enemies, but what good is the death of your enemies if you are your worst enemy? However, if you seek after wisdom, you will improve your character, build wealth, gain honor, and subdue your enemies. Wisdom is that gadget that looks like a pocket knife, but it has all of these other functions like a flashlight, can opener, scissors, saw, corkscrew, bottle opener, and more. To exercise your good decision-making ability is to exercise wisdom and discernment. Humans were created in the image of God on purpose. The scope of work that we must accomplish on earth and the obstacles we must overcome requires God-like skills, talents, and abilities. We can't afford to allow dormant or underdeveloped abilities to persist. I don't know if this is true, but it is very possible that darkness and evil are spreading unchecked and unchallenged because we, the children of God, haven't leveled up to outmatch, outperform, and out-strategize our adversaries. Lack is our adversary, and if you are living with lack instead of kicking it out of your home, then you will always struggle to have just enough. Living just enough. That's not our mantra. We want to be living with more than enough. Well, we've covered one of the 5 roadblocks to effective decision making, which is having an underdeveloped decision making muscle. We've also covered which is more pertinent to have, wealth or wisdom. It turns out wisdom is more valuable than wealth. But the world isn't chasing after wisdom. The world is chasing after riches and fame. There is a way that appears right to a man, but the end is destruction. Next week, we will continue our discussion, and if you are interested in being able to identify roadblocks that are impeding your decision-making abilities and gain knowledge to successfully navigate unexpected problems as they arise, join me next week for part 2 of this message. Until then, be bold, be great, and be inspired, and I will see you next week. Bye, family.
Thank you for joining me for another week of Danielle Inspires. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the alert button so that you are aware of new content as soon as it is released, and share this inspiration with those you love. See you next week.